Alright, so this next step is probably one of the most important steps actually. This is where we can finally begin to see the difference between actually owning a property and renting it. So we're going to get started with this table right here, net cost of owning. So all we got to do here is take the table right above actually this cash outflow before taxes. Take that number and pull that all the way across. We're just bringing it down, just making it easier to compare. The tax savings we're going to take from right here actually, pull that all the way across. Okay, and then the after-tax cost is just going to be the difference between these two. Alright, so we'll do this number minus this number, 17,202. It's going to change every time. That's perfect. Alright, so net cost of renting, we've created this number before as well. We're just going to pull it down. So we're going to go up to our property data table, look at the rents. I realized I made a mistake earlier. Actually, I had this at $1,600, which was the original initial rent. I realized that that was just a monthly rent, however, so I went in and multiplied 1,600 times 12 to get the annual number, and that's what you see here now. Alright, so I'm going to pull down that annual number, 19,000. Alright, and we can use that same number all the way across. That's perfect. Alright, so now we're just going to pull down those exact same tables. Nothing crazy here. This is just going to be a good table for us to physically look and compare these two numbers. Alright, so we're going to pull this after-tax cost, cost of owning, pull those all the way across. Alright, and then our after-tax cash flow of owning versus renting is literally just going to be the difference between these two numbers. Alright, and same for every successive year. So that looks about right. That's perfect. We have a positive number, there's a difference. That's fabulous. Alright, our next table is going to be the before tax cash flow. So we'll start here with the sales price. We've created this before as well. We're going to pull it from the property data table above. Right here, we're looking for our property value in year one. So that's perfect. Enter that, pull that all the way across. Alright, so now our selling cost is going to be the next component. To get this, we just take the selling price, or excuse me, the sales price above times the selling expense. That is one of our project assumptions. So we'll do this times the selling expense of 7% right here. Enter that, pull that all the way across. Actually, before we do that, we need to go in, oh, excuse me, let's try that again. Times okay, so we'll go into this equation and lock down that percent so it doesn't move. Okay, now we should get a legitimate number in every year. Perfect. Alright, so the mortgage balance, that's going to be the balance from the summary loan schedule. We've created this before as well. Let's go to the summary loan schedule, balance of year one. Enter. Alright. Okay, and then last on this table, it's going to be the benefit from sale. That doesn't look right. Alright, as I was saying, the mortgage balance, we're just going to pull from the summary loan schedule balance right up here. Alright, we should be able to pull that all the way across. Just dragging those numbers down. Alright, and then the benefit from sale is going to be the sales price less the selling cost less the mortgage balance. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. We have that minus our selling cost minus our remaining mortgage balance. Alright, so we got a positive number. That's good. Perfect. Alright, so this next little section we're going to take care of is the after taxes cash flows of the sale. So we'll start with the sales price, which we already have. We'll pull from right above, right here. Okay, pull that all the way across. Alright, less our selling costs, which are also listed above. Less the purchase price. This is the same for everyone because the purchase price is $250,000. That's a given. So we'll put that in, Drag that all the way across. Alright, now to find the gain on sale, we're just going to do the difference between all of these. Okay, oops. I need to lock this down so I can pull it across. Let's try that again. That's more like it. Alright, so yeah, as I was saying, the gain on sale is going to be the sales price less the selling cost less the purchase price. Alright, so we have a negative number for year one. That's to be expected. As you go in successive years, though, you'll be making a profit. Alright, so our exclusions. For the first 2 years, it's just going to be 0. Okay, I'm just going to put that in manually. Years 3 through 5, it's going to be the gain on the sale above because these two values were negative. However, these are positive, so that'll be the only thing we need to put in. So I'm just going to do equals this number right here, drag that across, simple enough. Alright, taxable gain. Nothing is over $250,000 in this case. We haven't made over $250,000, so nothing will be taxable in this specific case. However, it's a good thing to know. Same with taxes, because we're not being taxed on anything over that $250,000, still 0 for every year. Perfect. Alright, now the after-tax cash flow, that's going to be the benefit from sale in before-tax cash flow. That's this number right here. Alright, minus our taxes, which all happen to be 0. But you know, if you were to go in and put in real numbers in this table, it would still work because the equations are now put in place. Alright, now we have reached the final table of the spreadsheet, and this is going to be where you can physically look and decide, is this project worth owning or renting, and at what year is it going to be profitable for us. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started here. For year 0, we're going to need the equity investment from the loan and equity calculations. Alright, so let's go up here. It's going to be the equity investment right here, $50,000. So we're going to enter that. I'm actually going to go in and lock it so we can pull it down for every successive year sold. Okay, and then we also want to multiply it by -1 because at the time we're actually in the hole there because 250,000 minus our loan amount. So we're actually $50,000 down. So we want to make sure that that's a negative number. Pull that. Boom. Perfect. All right, so we'll start with year 1 here. All we got to do here is take the after-tax cash flow. All right, so we'll do this plus the after-tax cash flow of owning versus renting. Sorry, yeah, that's this right here. I was just confirming. All right. And so every year sold after that, it's not going to be quite this number. It's just going to be the after-tax cash flow of owning versus renting. All right, so that. Okay, and then we can lock that up so it stays. All right, and then we'll pull that all the way down. Cancel. Awesome. All right, so that's year 1. Do the same idea for year 2. We'll go this number plus our after-tax cash flow of owning versus renting. Fantastic. All right, and we're going to do the same idea for every year sold after that. Equals this. Let's go in and lock it up. Perfect. All right, year 3 is going to be sorry, I meant to do this number right here actually. No, I didn't. this one right here, plus it's easier than locking it up when there's only two quantities. Alright, so for year 4, same idea. We go 65,000 plus equals. Alright, and then this last year, we just have these two numbers together. Perfect. Alright, so we have all of our quantities there. That's good, but really what we're looking for is this after-tax rate of return right here, internal rate of return. So to calculate that, all we have to do is put in a simple internal rate of return equation, and then we're going to drag all the values for that year across, and it'll just calculate it for us. So IRR, there's our function, oops, equals IRR. Okay, and then we're going to pull these two. Awesome. Okay, so we want to do the same thing here. Pull these three equals R. Awesome. All right, so these, I'll put them in bold so they're easier to see. These are our big numbers that we're looking for, actually. So if you were to look at these numbers, here's what I think you would see. Years 1, 2, definitely a bad option to own. At that point, it would be a lot more advantageous to rent, especially that first year you're going to be in the hole. The second year, it's like you put in all that work and you're only going to make a 4% return. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people would even argue that this is not a great investment, 9%. I think 11 to 12 is kind of more what you're looking for. So I think a lot of people would advise just renting at that point as well. That's kind of a gray area. But then years 4 and 5, I think it makes more sense to own than to rent. I think you'll be saving money at that point. You'll be making an 11.2% return and 12.4% after that. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's my project. So thank you very much for listening and have a great day.